Now, this is a clip from Mase where he talks about how it's possible that, she has a pimp.
And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. Just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right?
And listen, he's probably right. Listen, Mase is probably 100% on the money, but I guess now we call them managers, right? Do y'all know a lot of these IG models got managers? That's how they all have OnlyFans. Now they're coming over to YouTube and they're making YouTube channels and they're doing reaction channels. Now they're gamers. All of them have managers. They have managers, quote unquote.
So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing? I know this is why they flew me back in. They wanted to know my take. But listen, all jokes aside, if the girl said I want 10, this may be the lawyer, right? Just hypothetically, all of these things, right? And the guy who put her on to Shannon was like, you didn't even know him. I put you on him. You didn't even know who that was. You was asking about college.
You was asking about college.
Yeah, this is your Thurgood Marshall right here. Him right there.
I'm telling y'all, that girl did not know who Shannon Sharp was. Okay? She probably did not know who Shannon Sharp was. The dude that she knows let her know, hey, that's Shannon Sharp, That's what I believe. And I believe there are people or person who is directing her to go after more money. Because we have some very greedy, grimy people out here. They never have enough.
For real? Yeah, that nigga worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. And he was like, 10 is my 10. You got to put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you, I ain't been out the streets that long. I know this is how peace think, you know what I'm saying? And if somebody's watching this and you know that behavior, you just put it in the chat and say it's Mase lying. And then another thing I want to look at in this whole entire case, right? I heard something about 50 or 25,000 a cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
That's what she texted him. She need 25,000 per cheek.
What are you doing with a cheek to pay 25?
I told y'all all that tricking.
I hope.
Yo, listen, man. She had no respect for him. None. She was going directly for his pockets. You hear me? She was going directly for his pockets. That's what she was about. She was about going directly for his pockets. She had no respect for him. For her to say that, because there are women who would do some very freaky things with a dude for no money. For no money. She saw him as a trick. She saw him as a lick. She saw him as a mark. And he fell for it. He fell for it, man. The red pill will never go away. I'm telling you, too many of these men show why we need the red pill. A lot of you guys think that it's about hating women. No, it's about understanding their nature and who they are. Y'all don't want to see it because you think if I just give her some money, if I take control, these women don't want to be controlled. These women want to be, they want to be able to sleep with multiple men whenever they feel like it. They want to get ran through. That's what a lot of you dudes don't understand. They want to be ran through. They want to be ran through. and y'all trying to save him, talking about how you're gonna be a leader and do all these different. Shut up. Stop lying to yourself.
All of this is untrue. If it is true, then they gotta do something about this. If ESPN can endure this, then they should give guys like Paul Pierce his job back.
Right.
They should give Matt Barnes his job back.
Yep.
And even Michael Irvin, our own Michael Irvin, should get his job back.
Yeah.
If people are not just gonna, honor what they supposed to honor, to me, I believe that he should keep his job if he's innocent. But if he's guilty and ESPN keeps him, then ESPN need to give all those people their job back. But I don't really know how this is going to turn out.
That's very true.
And I saw really was the interview with Stephen A. when he was speaking of it. And I was watching it very carefully, Killer.
Stephen A. said something about this already?
Yeah, because Stephen A., he didn't stand with Shannon Sharp like he stood with Jay-Z. When he heard about Jay-Z, he said, the guy I know, this is not true. When it came to Shannon, he was like, I wasn't there.
That's because he's covering his bases. He's a company man, and he always saw Shannon as competition, always. But he was cordial with them because they worked together.
Yo,
In a nutshell, yeah.
I gotta keep it static, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there for Jay-Z neither. You wasn't there for Jay-Z. You were not there for Jay-Z, but you went out on a limb because of the character of guy you know. So I'm not saying that you're wrong for that. I'm saying I would have thought that the same standard would be there, right? If for a guy you work with every day. Well, not every day, but,
Damn near.
And I'm not taking a shot at Stephen A. It's just an observation.
It does sound like you was taking shots at Stephen A. From what you said, I didn't see Stephen A. shit, but what I'm gathering, what you said from Stephen A. said, he basically said, I don't know the nigga like that.
And again, he is protecting the brand, and that brand is ESPN. He wants to show that he's a company man. And also, I bet you Stephen A. Smith is in those meetings talking about, listen, I told you so. I told you he was going to bring trouble here. I guarantee you that's what he's telling them. See, Stephen A. Smith is not going to say this publicly, but I bet you he's telling those higher-ups, I told you, I told you, that's why he shouldn't be here full-time anyway. He was going to bring trouble. I'm telling you right now. Y'all think Stephen A. Smith is above throwing people under the bus? He threw Max Kellerman under the bus. But anyway,